When do you think that we should start to think about bringing the troops home? And can you tell us what your thoughts are about whether the war has been worth it?
So as far as young people, they're the ones that end up serving. They're the ones that end up dying. And one of the commitments that I make up and down the 1st Congressional District is that I would never sign off on a war, going into war, without being willing to put my son, who's in the Kentucky Air National Guard, without being willing to put his life on the line. We were right to go into Afghanistan after Al-Qaeda, after those that hit us on 9/11. We did not need to go into Iraq. That was a war of choice. We went after what was arguably very illogical conclusions that this administration was making off of weapons of mass destruction that I never believed, personally I never believed that those weapons of mass destruction existed in Iraq, because I did not believe that when our military pulled back from Baghdad that we were in a situation where George Bush's dad signed off on leaving weapons of mass destruction capable of hitting the United States in the hands of Saddam Hussein. Didn't believe that that was, and unless his dad stood up in front of the American people and said, I left him there so my son's going to clean up the mess, that's what should have happened. We didn't require that, and the people that we sent to Congress didn't require it, so we went in, and a number of people lost their lives in order to find weapons that weren't there. But they also created a tremendous power vacuum, and that power vacuum is what we're dealing with now. It's now gone from really a fairly minor incursion, which was supposed to cost, if I recall correctly, $3 billion was what one Assistant Secretary of Defense said that it would cost, and it would pay for itself, into where we've lost human capital and we've lost financial capital. We've lost economic security. We've lost our national security interests because we didn't even get the rest of the world behind us. And this is at a time when the rest of the world was behind us 100% for going into Afghanistan. And we still haven't got Osama. I ask the question almost every day, where is Osama? Why haven't we gotten him? Why haven't we finished the job that was appropriate to do after 9/11?
You don't take a position on how soon we should be bringing troops home?
I fully support Jack Murtha's from Pennsylvania's resolution on the House side, which is to redeploy the troops. Why redeploy? Redeploy the troops in a strategic manner, because the one thing that we don't want to end up have happening is we don't want Iran to come in and take over Iraq. We don't want Syria to come in and take over Iraq. So we diplomatically should be telling each of those countries that our troops are redeploying out of the area. The international community can go ahead and work through, whether it be peacekeepers, whatever, and to help out the civil war, to help them go ahead and bring on, if they want to bring on democracy. Remember, this was a totalitarian state, and if you want to go ahead and have success, you're going to have to deal with the fact that there are different religions, that the Shiites, Sunnis, and Kurds are the three major ones, and have all wanted to split apart the country since it was put together, much like the former Yugoslavia was put together. Should we be doing it with economic incentives rather than militarily? I think we should, and I think the United States ends up being a bad guy if we don't.